Okay, welcome back to a new Python tutorial. In this video, I would like to cover a very important topic in Python, which is called modules. Yeah? It's very important, especially when you write your own programs, which are a little bit larger, and you want to reuse code efficiently, yeah? Or you want to import packages or modules which are already given by Python, yeah? In order to make your life easier. You don't have to rewrite everything from scratch, but you can use certain modules which are available on the market. Yeah? And how this works, it will become clear in a few minutes, I think, and we will just go through this step by step as usual. Yeah? So I created here for that purpose two files. One is called modules.py. This will be our main file where we want to insert our code. And we created another file which is called test.py, which is the module file. Yeah? And this we want to import now later into our modules.py. So in order to do that, we just have to type in something into our module file. And maybe we can just define a variable a equal to 5. So just a simple integer value. And then in order to use this code which we have inserted into our test.py, we have to save this also here. This is very important. In order to use this code in our modules.py, we have to write import test. Now, without any ending, we don't have to write test.py. We only have to write import test. And then you will see if you write print a and you run this program, you will get an error message. Because it still does not know what is variable a. In order to make Python to know from where a is coming, you always have to provide the full package name. So in this case, you have to write test.a. And when you now run the program, then also when you have syntax highlighting automatically and you have a good IDE like this one here, then it automatically recognizes that a exists in this package. And then you can see now the output is 5, exactly what we have defined. So this is working quite well. So now what actually this import function does is just placing this part of this code here in the beginning of our modules file, and then we can use this later. And this works with every Python file. You can just use the import function and import any Python file which you have created into this place where you write import. So it's a combination of include in C++ and also of a full library. So you can find some similarities here with other programming languages. Yeah, of course, this was very simple. We can also do a little bit more complicated stuff with that. So if we go to our test.py module file, we can also define functions. For example, let's just create a function which takes one variable a, and the only purpose of this function is to return the double value of that, 2 times a. And of course, as I said, you have to save this with Ctrl+S, otherwise it will not work. And now we can go to our main function here and write, to our main file and write print test.func, and then we insert maybe a value of 2. And when we run this now, you will see the output is 4. So 2 times 2 is 4, of course, so this also works quite well. And the same also applies for classes. So you can also define your classes, which I explained in the previous tutorial, and then you can access this in the same way. So there's absolutely no problem with that. In some cases, when you have very long package names or module names, then it's sometimes beneficial to use a trick which makes it possible not to always that you don't always have to write the full name of this module, like in this case test. And this is the keyword s. So if you write import test s and then, for example, t or any other name, whatever you want to choose, then you will see that first of all our IDE does not recognize test anymore because it's just not existing. But if we want to now access this module test and also everything what is inside, we just have to replace now this test everywhere with t. And now we can run that, and you see now the output is the same. So this also works very well, especially, as I said, when you have very long package names and you just want to shorten it up a little bit. And there's also another possibility. If you write, for example, from test import and then func, for example, then you see that now t.a is not existing anymore. And even if you write test.a or test test.func, it will not work. Because what this statement does, it's just importing the function func from test with the name func. Yeah. So what we can write now here, what we have to write in order to get access is we have to remove this test here, and we also have to, in principle, remove that. We can just comment this out. Yeah. If now we run this program, now you see the output is 4, yeah, because it just imports this function func. Or we can also maybe write a comma here and a, and then we can also insert our variable again, yeah, and run this, and everything works well. Yeah, so with this case, you can import variables, functions, classes from a module, certain functions or variables from a certain module. Yeah. Okay, this is also very simple. What you could also do, you can write this from test import and then the star here, which means that everything, all variables, functions and classes from our module test should be imported. And now we also don't have to write test in front of our variables and functions. We can just compile this and it works. However, I would really highly recommend not to use this method, because first of all, it will overwrite functions or variables which you have defined yourself in your code. Yeah, so if you want to use this, you should only use this if you really know what you are doing. Yeah, so under normal conditions, I would always write import test as t, and then, for example, t.a and t.func, t.func, and then 2, and then it will run again as usual. So this is the way how I propose to do this, and this is how I'm also using it in my own programs which I'm writing. So you can really avoid a lot of confusions with that. And yeah, this is in principle everything what you have to know in order to create your own modules. But of course, there are also built-in modules in Python that you can use. Yeah, you don't have to know how the module looks like, which has been programmed by other people, of course, but you only have to know how to use them. This is the most important thing. So for example, now we just don't import any module, and we want to print out the square root of a function, of a number, for example, square root of 2. And we run this program now, and you will see it gives an error message, because the Python does not know what is square root. The function is not built in Python in general. So in order to get access to this function, we can use certain packages, and one of my most favorite ones in this case, just for numerical calculation, is called math. And yeah, then we can write here math.square root 2. This is standard in the standard installation of Python included. So if we now compile our program, we get now here the result square root of 2. Yeah, simple, because this function is built in this module math. Or we can also, yeah, just to practice this once more, we can write import math as m, and then we can write m square root 2, which will give the same result. Or we could write here maybe from math import everything, and then we don't have to write anything here except square root of 2. And if we compile that, it will also give the same value. Yeah, but there are several packages which provide the square root function, and some of them are working differently from others. So it's always important that you are not mixing this and avoid this kind of writing. And yeah, just do it in the same way how I explained it previously. And another package which I would just like to briefly explain, because with this I want to show something else, is the matplotlib pyplot module. Yeah, and this we can maybe import as PLT. Yeah, so we have even a sub module here. We have a submodule pyplot in the module matplotlib. Yeah, and this we want to include as PLT. Yeah, just because we don't want to write all this long name every time again and again, so we just shorten it, as I have explained previously. Yeah, when you run now the program, you will see it shows matplotlib pyplot is not found, yeah, because it's not installed. Some packages or some modules are not installed out of the box in Python, and you have to install this with packages. Yeah, so a package is a combination of several modules, and you can either download them from several websites and include them, of course, or you can use, if they are standard packages, then you can use them or you can install them with the help of a Python package manager, which is also part of a normal installation of Python. If you installed Python in the way how I explained it in the first tutorial with the help of the Microsoft Store, for example, then this Python package manager will be installed automatically. And this is called PIP, which means Python installs packages. And in this case, you only have to go into your terminal, which is already opened here in this code, Visual Studio Code software. Or you can also use, of course, the command line, whatever you like. And you can write here just simply pip .exe. This is the name, or in this case you can even avoid this and only write pip. If you use Ubuntu or any other Unix-based system and you install Python there, you can do it in the same way, pip. Then you have to write install, and then you have to insert the name of the package that you want to install. And of course you should find out what is the name of this package which you want to use, but in this case it's just matplotlib. Now the package name is the same name as the module name. And if I do this, then you will see now it will download a lot of things, because it also depends maybe on some other packages which have to be installed. So it will install now all packages step by step until the full package is installed. And this is done already. As you can see, it doesn't give any error message. So now we run the program again, and now it will not show anything, of course, but as you will see, it will not give you any error message. It just doesn't show anything. So in order to prove that it works, we can just simply define maybe two variables, two lists. Let's suppose x equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and y should be equal to maybe 1, 2, 1, 4, 9, 16. So we just create a parabolic data shape, and then what we have to do, we have to use then our new name plt dot, and then there is a function in this module which is called plot. And then if you write here plot x and y, and we run that program, then another thing we have to add, of course, we have to insert here plt show. And if now we run our program, then if nothing goes wrong, you will see now the data has been plotted. So matplotlib is basically a very nice module for data analysis, for data presentation. If you are interested in this, I have made already some tutorials about this. You can also find this on my channel. There I explained the most fundamental things of what you can do with matplotlib, creating histograms and so on. But here we just create a simple line graph, you can say, or we just visualize these data points here. And this you can do with many other packages, modules. You can use pip to install whatever you like. You can also use pip list. This command will show you then what kind of packages are installed. So with matplotlib also many other packages were installed, which I never used some of them. NumPy is also very important packages for numerical calculations, and this I have installed manually before already. So the version number is also shown here. In this case, you can see when something updates, for example. And this is everything which I want to show in this video. I hope that it was beneficial. You learned something. You can try this yourself. You can play with this a little bit, create your own Python code. And then, learning by doing is always the best idea how to get access to Python. And if you liked the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe my channel if you have not done so far, if you don't want to miss any further videos. And hopefully see you soon for a next video.